Hello, Ebony. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Now, time to replay some missions! Because I forgot to do an off-screen recording. Okay, what missions did I need to replay? That got ruined. Hide and seek.
This mission briefing is classified. Starfleet Intelligence has been working on cracking the coded message sent by the Undine agent you exposed at Pajem. And we think we have something. There are several references to the Paulson Nebula in the data. That is an area of space near the Lackey system that we don't know much about. Starfleet needs you to survey the nebula and find out why the Undine have an interest in it. Be careful. When the Enterprise D was in the area, it reported that the composition of the clouds may screen opponents from your sensors. We have a diplomatic mission for you. An important Vulcan ambassador is traveling from his homeworld to the monastery at Pajem. Capturing the ambassador would be a major coup for the Klingons or Orions, so we're assigning you to make sure everything goes smoothly. You are to escort Ambassador Soketh to Pajem. Please meet him at Vulcan. Once you locate him, speak with him about the transport mission. Do whatever is necessary to keep him safe.
Okay. Great thing is, I can go boop and just transwarp right to the mission start. Cost some energy credits, of course, but hey, energy credits are easy to get. It's just not easy to get a lot of them. That's the difference. We arrived in the Sea of Liberty. Already read that.
Greetings. Thank you for agreeing to escort the ambassador to Pajem. Ambassador Soketh is currently attending a ritual to honor the end of the Kalrek holiday. He will be done soon, but the ambassador is hesitant to use transporter technology. His bias against the transporters is not logical, but I have come to accept it. I believe that Soketh would be much more comfortable traveling by shuttlecraft. I have received clearance for you to land near the ambassador's location. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Starfleet shuttlecraft, this is Vulcan Orbital Control. You are cleared to land at the requested coordinates. Welcome to Vulcan. Please enjoy your stay.
You need to sound so snippy about it. You know, they say Vulcans aren't emotional, but those are they have a lot of snark in their voices. It's almost like they know a joke that none of them are telling us about. I can't climb that rock.
Welcome to Vulcan. Do you have any questions? Pajem is a small world near Andoria. It is sacred to our people. There have been Vulcans on Pajem for centuries. In 2152, the ancient buildings that housed our monastery were destroyed by the Andorians. It was a failing in our logic that led to conflict with the Andorians. We have corrected our error. After the Federation was founded, a group of Andorians, Vulcans, and humans rebuilt the monastery as a symbol of peaceful coexistence and cooperation. Since then, a group of monks has lived there. They study the ideals of Sirach. Do you have any questions? My business is my own. If you must know more, I require a meeting with the abbot. He will not use subspace communications, so if I am to receive his counsel, I need to meet with him directly. Do you have any questions? This is ridiculous! Access to Pajem is strictly limited to preserve the sanctity of the monastery. No outsiders are permitted to land without the express permission of Savin, the leader of the Order of the Priest that maintains the planet. Ordinarily, this would not present any difficulty, but Savin has chosen this moment to illogically question my visiting the monastery. He is refusing to grant leave for me to meet with the abbot at Pajem. If I do not complete my journey to Pajem now, I will have to delay it until after the trade conference at Corridon is complete, and that could take weeks. I fear I have spent too much time off-world. While I find it easy to deal with others, my own people can be stubborn. Perhaps you could speak to Savin. I know he has a great deal of respect for Starfleet, and you might have an easier time than I have.
I still say I accidentally create badass Harry Kim.
Peace and long life. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Sarketh accuses me of abandoning logic, but he is the one refusing to explain his reasons for wanting to go to Pajem. The planet is sacred. Our ancestors walked those paths. They found understanding and serenity in its quiet. When I am at Pajem, I feel more at peace than any place else in the galaxy. Pajem has been touched by outside influences in the past. The Federation is at war. Now more than any other time, we must protect this refuge. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Many years ago, Pajem was used for political purposes. Technology used to spy on the Andorians was hidden beneath the sacred sanctuary. It should never have happened. Buildings that had stood for 12 centuries were destroyed because we allowed politics and war in a place where there should only be logic and contemplative thought. When the monastery was rebuilt, we pledged to keep it safe from the cares of the galaxy. Only those who seek peace may enter.
That is
seek knowledge of the ancestors.
That all there was a direct reference to an episode of Enterprise.
Even a people who reject emotion require peace and contemplation. We are a spiritual people. Our rituals guide us throughout our lives. Vulcans who choose a life of study and isolation, as the monks at Pajem have done, help us maintain our connection with our ancestors. The monk's study of Sirach's words in the Kirshara give us all a greater understanding of who we are and who we should strive to be. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Centuries ago, the Vulcans were creatures of emotion. We fought one another in a series of wars that devastated our planet. Our species was on the brink of annihilation. Sirach taught us to embrace peace and to put aside our emotions in favor of logic. Sirach ushered in a time of awakening on Vulcan. His writings, the Kirshara, shaped all that we are. Without Sirach, the Vulcans you know would not exist.
And of course, the people who disagreed with Sirach's belief became those who are under the Raptor Star, who eventually would settle on the world Romulus and create the Romulan race, and eventually, by default, the Reman race. Excuse me.
I neither trust him nor distrust the ambassador. I simply do not understand him. He will not reveal his reasons for wishing to speak to the abbot, but has refused a mind meld with me. Normally I could respect his privacy, but other things I have heard trouble me. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Sokoth has spent more and more time away from Vulcan in recent years, and seems ill at ease in what was once his home. Tapella admits he has changed in the past few months. He spends hours closeted in his study, and does not share meals with his staff as he used to. Tapella says that the stress of the war with the Klingon Empire is taking its toll. She hopes the peace of Pajem will restore him. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? The monks do not use any unnecessary technology. Even replicators are not permitted on Pajem. There is a communications array available to the monks for emergencies. Sokoth's request does not qualify. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? I will permit it if you will pledge to me, on your honor as a Starfleet officer, that you will protect Pajem from harm. Sokoth says his reasons for wanting to speak to the abbot are private. I will accept that, but only if you are with him. I know I can trust Starfleet. Please, protect Pajem from any who would violate its sanctity.
Do you have any questions? Excellent. Our departure has been delayed long enough by the whims of one man. I am prepared for the journey and can leave immediately.
That's good. Telling Tapella to attend that matter. Leaving with the captain aboard the shuttle. Please, peace and long life. Yes, Ambassador, have a safe journey, live long and prosper. But yeah, all of that stuff there, now that we're not being interrupted, pretty much was all new voice over.
Has a replicator that will allow you to buy and sell.
Was pretty much all new voiceover. That's the one thing I will give credit for in kind of helping the game with the Agents of Yesterday pack, is they added a whole bunch of more voicing to older missions. Now, my theory is, what's the next?
We have logged your flight trajectory, and you are cleared for departure. Live long and prosper.
So I gotta wonder, like with every expansion now, are they gonna do voice acting for older missions until all missions have voice acting? Because that would be cool.
I need to meditate and prepare for my meeting with the abbot at Pajem. If you have no objections, I will retire to my quarters. Please notify me when we have arrived at our destination. Once again, you have my gratitude for your assistance.
Depart system. Okay. Diplomatic orders. It is interesting how close Andoria and Vulcan are to each other. Like, I mean, it seems close because we're on a scaled map, but that's gotta be relatively astronomically close too, as well. Which would explain why the Andorians were among the first aliens that the Vulcans encountered. Picking up unusual energy readings, which is scan.
You have a foul shape changer aboard your ship. Turn the creature over to us, or we will destroy you. That foul beast on your ship is an Undine. They put on a false face and try to control us, but we Klingons know better. We will hunt them down until the last of those honorless dogs dies screaming. My patience is limited. The Undine come from a dimension known as fluidic space. They use quantum singularities to move into ours. Undine are telepathic and physically superior to humans. They see anyone from our dimension as an inferior life form, even Klingons. Soon they will know how wrong they are. Undine have the technology to be a real threat to anyone, even the Borg. But the worst of their weapons is their ability to take our forms. The Undine have inserted themselves into every major power in the quadrant and seek to control us through trickery and misdirection. You must be vigilant. My patience is limited. You tell me, Starfleet. It was your people who first encountered the Undine in the Delta Quadrant back when we knew them as Species 8472. Many among my people want to know just what you did to make them hate us so. My patience is limited. Speak quickly. Doubt my word. Insult my honor. I have killed men for less. I have nothing to prove to the likes of you. Turn that so-called ambassador over to me now, or face the consequences.
He's like, oh, you just gotta believe me, cause that's what I say. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna just believe you cause you're a Klingon. I know Klingons are perfectly capable of lying.
Under attack. Shields have failed.
Alright, so let's do it. Do it.
Enemy target unentered.
Ah, there's the probe. As I was saying, this is something that was added with the Agents of Yesterday packs does these temporal probes in some of the early missions. Test that series. And there we are. I have to find the mountain path.
Terrible news. Vulcan security forces have discovered the body of Ambassador Soka. They have determined that he was killed by a phaser blast at short range. His remains were discovered in a stasis chamber hidden in a cavern beneath the Ambassador's residence. The Ambassador on your ship, the one that I have been working for, is an imposter. You need to be very careful. This imposter was able to fool Soka's closest associates for months. He is crafty and very patient. Now that he has been discovered, he will be dangerous.
Such emotion on your face. I see now my deception has been exposed. Pity. Capturing the abbot so we could replace him as well would have been beneficial. But we are strong. We will prevail. You are weak, and the weak shall perish. creatures. Why should I trouble myself with such insignificant beings when the Klingons will do my work for me?
He got the shitty walk.
Warriors, prepare for battle!
Yes,
There is a group of Starfleet officers behind me. One of them is the foul shapeshifter. I'm returning to the ship. Don't let them leave this planet alive. Yes, sir.
Enemy target on sensors. Shield losing power.
Sometimes it takes a while for the claim to go through. Yeah. Let's see. My current one is better. Alright. Just had to clean up my inventory a bit.
Ship is under attack. Four shields failing. Hull integrity below 50%. Warning, ship is under attack. Hull integrity below 50%. Four shields failing. Target shields have failed. Hull integrity below 25%.
Ah, crap. That is an Excelsior refit, I think.
This is Captain Thielen of the USS Kirk. Glad to see we made it here in time to lend you a hand. Perhaps someday you will return the favor. Thielen out.
Which, if you take this game as canon to the main timeline, he would be the first Andorian we've seen in command of the Enterprise. Not the first non-human, of course. Well, he's not the Enterprise. That's Sean. Someone we see later on in the story becomes the first Andorian we see as a captain of the Enterprise.
The ambassador was an Undine? I'm afraid their infiltration of the Federation goes much deeper than we realized. Who knows what kind of havoc they could create?
Let's see. No, my current torpedo's technically better. It has lower main damage, but it has higher rate of fire and higher DPS. Ah, server lag. The best kind of lag. I do thank you people for watching, for spending your Sunday with my lame ass.
Thank you for the assist. Our ship is on a mission to map the Paulson Nebula. Unfortunately, we failed to adequately compensate for the power drain the nebula had on our engines. We retreated from the nebula to make repairs. That's when we stumbled upon an illegal Gorn mining operation.
Presumably, the Gorn didn't take that well.
If you hadn't shown up when you did, we'd be sucking vacuum. Our chief engineer says there's no way we can make it back to a starbase. In fact, without new dilithium crystals, we're stuck.
Sounds like we arrived just in time.
There are crystals on some of the larger asteroids here. That's why we headed for this location in the first place. If you could gather some crystals for us, we can make it to safety. Send us a hail if you have any questions about the nebula. We would be happy to share our data.
We can't give you any dilithium without shutting down our engine, which is too risky. We'll collect some dilithium from the asteroids. Kit bash ship, kit bash ship.
Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
We're in your debt. This is enough dilithium to get our warp engines restarted. After we finish preliminary repairs, we'll set course for Starbase 157. If you want to go into the Paulson Nebula, your engines will need a boost. I recommend you visit Lackey 3. The Gorn drove out the Federation miners there and took over a decalithium processing facility. It's only fair that you take some of our crystals back.
Warp to Lackey 3. What's up, Mr. Jazz? Chromal distortion. Is one of the right numbers, but not in the right place. So now it's just process of elimination on the first. So we know 5 wasn't working. So we'll try 2. That should do it. Haha. No. No. Aha! Seems that the Coup will follow the Undine signal to the pulse, and they promptly ran into trouble with the Gorn. Looks like the Gorn did us a favor. Score 1 for Gorn territorialism. Okay, we just got a new personal shield. Actually, pretty good one too. Can it be upgraded? Might be one to keep and upgrade. But for now, you can have it, Temet.
Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
Ha ha ha! Now it is just a waiting game. Sound effects walked out there for a bit.
Well done. Starfleet will analyze the data from the listening post. With luck, there will be something there that will help us in our fight against the Klingons.
What the hell, everybody else in my party's using rifles, might as well give her one too, right? Let's see. None of these are particularly worthwhile, so I'll just grab that and call it a day. Now, new mission! Well, not new, we've seen it before, but mission with new stuff in it. I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something. Have we actually arrived at our destination? Nope, we're flying through sector space, cause space is big, yo. Stop the signal. Captain, we are approaching the signal repeater. We can get close enough. If we can get close enough, we can eavesdrop on the transmission, determine the point of origin. Starfleet has reported hostile ships in the area. So somewhere on the space map is the chronal distortion. In frequency scan.
Klingons along the border of the sector, redeploying tachyon sensors to pick up cloaked Klingon vessels.
That's valuable Starfleet deployment information, sir. This must be the signal the Klingons are tapping. We'll need to trace the destination of the signal. Aha! Oh no! Klingons! Well, we know a 2 is in there somewhere. Five. Looks like the Nakul have been eavesdropping on the comm trap again. They might be using this gear to communicate with the Undine as well. Interesting. They were given access. The Klingons allowed them to tap the system. Cooperation between the Nakul and rogue Klingons? That's not good news. Oh no!
Warning, ship is under attack.
This is one of the outcomes you can have happen when you tap the probe, is being attacked by enemies either in space or on the ground. So on the ground, one of the ones I've seen is saboteurs you can run into. Warp to Damari 2. Detecting Klingon transponder disruption field. The field is being maintained by 3 transport disruptors. We can destroy them. We have to destroy them before we can beam on. Thing I gotta know about the chronal probes is they can show up on any one of the maps associated with a particular mission.
Target shield has failed. Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed. More shields failing.
Do 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 do. Being down, 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 down. Meow, meow, meow. Sir, we have received authorization from Starfleet to destroy this facility. It is considered vital to our war effort to protect the transmissions from enemy reception. I recommend we plan spatial charges throughout the area. If we hit several parts of the structure at once, it'll suffer catastrophic failure.
Making damage detected.
Recognize the locker as a storage container for Klingon weapons, probably disruptor pistols and batlets. If you bypass the lock, you might find something useful. The security lock is not easy to compromise, but you can physically remove some of the circuits and replace them in a different order. If you can get all the circuit voltage into the ascending sequence, they'll trip the lock. Begin sequence. Ascending. Not a bad set of weapons for what is essentially a free unlock. Let's see. I thought it was a minigun. It's just a blast gun. That Batleth is not as good as my left weapon. Excuse me. So, vendor trash for it all. Wide. Stun. So that's a wide, that's a stun. Wide. Wide. That is stun. And that goes there. Onto this. This here, this here, this here. Speaking of which, is there any promotions going on that I need to know about? Nope. We need to determine what kind of sensitive information the listening post has picked up. We'll need to blast our way into the computer or upload their records, just like we did at the listening post and the locking system. Fortunately, our spatial charge should be able to blow through the door security doors. I can sell that. Oh, speaking of things, one of the updates coming up is going to give us upgradable kits and upgradable kit modules. So that'll be cool. Allow me to really power up some of the older set bonuses because they have kits associated with them. Unfortunately, it does not look like we will be getting the controller upgrade, the controller compatibility that the console versions of the game got. Though at some point we're supposed to get the graphic update. That was an Undine infiltrator. They must be manipulating this whole situation to pit the Klingons Federation against each other. Valuable intelligence in the Klingon hands. This makes it more critical than ever that this information get back to Starfleet. We need to uplink to the computer core immediately. Beam us up. Klingons are fighting an Undine ship. With their help, we can defeat it.
Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
You have aided us in battle, and I respect your bravery. In honor of your actions against the Undine, we will not destroy you today. Next time, you will not be so fortunate.
Perhaps someday we'll fight on the same side again, Captain. Depart system.
Good work. You're making quite a name for yourself in Starfleet.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
I just got a whole bunch of holographic officers.
Starfleet has lost contact with the Federation science station in the Kasei system, because all communications from Kasei 2 must be boosted by a satellite that compensates for Metreon isotopes prevalent in the system. It may be that the communications array is in need of repair. Please make the necessary repairs to the communications array and re-establish contact with the science station.
We'll go with a Saurian science officer. But I don't have enough crew for them, so they'll have to go into storage, as it were. that. And for our ground skill, we'll purchase that. Now we'll do smoke grenade. Willpower. Sweeping strikes.
Hidden dangers lurk in space, and the threat of Klingon attack has made even the most stout-hearted reconsider their choice to travel throughout the stars. A last-ditch effort to find a common ground could end this conflict, but there are many who oppose peace.
Though I really should be doing the duty officer stuff until I've gotten all those rewards on my agent of yesterday. Yeah. Detecting Gorn ships in range of the communications array, I recommend we deal with them before we assess the damage to the array. Thank you. Scan chronal distortion. Unlock temporal probe. I'm well enough. Also, World of Warcraft is okay, but I tried it. I grew out of it. The Nakul have been gathering information from this array. Worse, they've been sharing it with Bavette. Looks like that rumored Nakul-Klingon alliance is a reality. Explains why we keep hearing about Bavette's special allies as well. Ah, no. I played it back when Wrath of the Lich King first came out. I played through the entire story. I was like, oh, this was fun. And then I had no one to play with. I'm like, I can't justify paying money for this anymore. Now, if World of Warcraft were free to play like Star Trek Online, that would be a different beast entirely.
The Gorn. They just stormed in and started shooting. The first sign of trouble was when we lost contact with the communications array. The Gorn beamed in and started shooting. They destroyed our computer core and took thousands of artifacts we spent years collecting. Then, as if destroying decades of archaeological research weren't enough, they started setting fires. The Gorn. They just stormed Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the USS Stargazer, discovered ruins from an unknown civilization here almost 60 years ago. The Federation Science Council has been researching this site ever since. It's a fascinating find. There are more than 40 kilometers of catacombs under this facility. We barely managed to explore a quarter of what we think is here. 2 years ago, we found a star chart in the catacombs that indicated that this civilization had contact with interstellar travelers more than 15,000 years ago. The chart led us to another site on Cassay 4, where we found the most extraordinary artifacts. If we're correct, the race that once lived here may have been an advanced proto-reptilian race. The Gorn. They just stormed in and started. The Gorn have extremely long memories. Thousands of years ago, the Gorn hegemony ruled this entire sector. In their minds, that means these planets are still theirs. The alliance with the Klingons has inspired the Gorn to start rebuilding their empire. Every planet from here to Cestus 3 is in danger. The Gorn. They just... not everyone. There are several members of our team still unaccounted for. Please, you must find them. The Gorn destroyed our automated fire suppression system in the initial attack. You will find fire suppression devices on the walls that you can use to fight the fires. The Gorn.
All that dialogue you just heard was all new, added with Agents of Yesterday. Like, yeah, I don't harbor the hate for World of Warcraft that so many people have. But then again, I never played the original Warcraft game, so I didn't have that whole, oh, they betrayed the franchise aspect to it. It was literally the first thing with Warcraft I ever played. Stroking a tribble, that's probably a euphemism somewhere in Star Trek. Stroking the tribble. It's totally got to be a euphemism somewhere. Like, oh shit, son, he's totally stroking the tribble. Oh no, my son's been stroking the tribble. So, Ebony, how would you feel if they announced a console version of World of Warcraft? Oh, it's been stroking the tribble again. think I missed a few scientists. Warp to Cassé 4. Though I would imagine living in on a habitated planet with that massive an asteroid field around it would be fairly dangerous, all things considered.
Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
Let me check something real quick. See if there's a hidden achievement here. Ah. Okay. We'll have to redo the mission for a brief second. After I finish it up. I forgot to scan Cassé 2, which there's an accolade involved in. It's always nice when you teleport in right next to the objective. Very convenient. Very convenient. I think there's a corpse I gotta scan here too. Scan Gorn victim on Cassé 4. Titanium ore. Rare ores. yeah, I'd totally be down for getting back into World of Warcraft if it went completely free to play. He's dead. The Gorn Clawmark, sir. The other hostages are in great danger. Probably. I mean, it's what, 12 years old now? I think it started in 2004, so it's had a pretty long life for an MMO. I mean, like, damn. Most MMOs barely make it past a year. World of Warcraft somehow made it through 12, so there had to be something there. I remember I was playing it in 2008, and I remember there being a 4-year anniversary thing that I took part of. So yeah, 12 years, so, you know, even if they shut it down, it's not like they didn't make their money, goddamn. The only MMO that might have been going on longer, I don't even think it's still being run by it's not the original servers anymore, is EverQuest. But I think that's all fan servers now. Nice. And I do give credit to the people who created EverQuest. They never tried to take down those fan servers. Because most of those people are playing EverQuest 2 as well. Hello, mouse. out of the bed? Okay.
Hull integrity below 75%. Hull integrity below 50%.
Warp to sector space. This game is looking like it's shape up to have a pretty long life too. I mean, we're almost into its 7th year.
If the archaeological sites in the Kasei system really are from a Proto-Gorn culture, we will have to weigh carefully the knowledge we gain versus what the Gorn claim to be their own history. The Federation Science Council has a lot to consider.
And
now,
I think
though,
they went.
I'm glad the researchers are safe. Good work.
And I think Star Trek Online went free to play in year 2 or 3, so it's been going free to play for a fairly long time.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
A representative from the Klingon Empire has agreed to meet with Moral Paris on Regulus 4. Lieutenant Paris is believed by some Klingons to be the Kuva Mach, a savior figure. That may or may not be the case, but if it means that the Klingons are willing to talk peace with Starfleet, we'll take the opportunity to do so. We need you to oversee security for the meeting. We have intelligence that there are Klingons who are against any sort of treaty, and we cannot allow them to disrupt the meeting. Go to Regulus 4 and make sure that the location is safe.
Well, the reason why they don't have to worry about their IP is because they have EverQuest 2 out, so that's how they protect their intellectual property. As it stands, EverQuest, the original game, is more or less shut down at this
Starfleet
point.
has lost contact with the Federation's...
Just gonna do this real quick to get the achievement I missed accidentally. Kasei 2 is a dead, uninhabitable world. It's surprising the Gore would put up such a fight. That, and I think EverQuest is based on D&D, so it's an adaptation, so that might also have something to do with why they don't pursue fan servers. But I could be misremembering. I'll be the first to admit, my memory's not that great. Do I have enough time to finish that mission? Probably. Space. Groups of Orion Syndicate patrolling the nearby communication satellite ahead of us. Trying to contact the surface. I think the Orions are using the communication satellite in orbit to boost their comm jamming. We're not getting through. I recommend destroying the Orion ships in orbit. Here, it should open communications then. Propaganda cruise act.
Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed. 4 shields Ship is under attack. 4 shields failing. Target shield has failed. Hull integrity below 75%. Hull integrity below 50%.
Sure how I got killed. Okay. I've made contact with Lieutenant Morale Paris on the surface. She's our Starfleet liaison to the peace conference on screen.
This is Lieutenant Meryl Paris requesting immediate assistance. Klingons and Orions have beamed in and taken hostages.
I'll be right back. Well, why would we buy their product? We can get something just as good in much larger quantities at Sam's. Yes, without the smarm.
I only just barely escaped myself. Beam down to my coordinates. This area should be safe. For now.
Speaking of Morale Paris, she is being voice acted by the woman who played her in the last episode of Voyager. And she was one of the earliest voice actors they got for the game.
I'm ready to assist you. We don't have time right now. Once we get these bombs disarmed, I will answer any questions you might have. Deal? I'm ready to assist you. You're here just in time. A group of Klingon operatives is attempting to sabotage the peace conference. They're planting explosive charges throughout the grounds, and they have Orion Syndicate forces as backup. There are Federation security forces here on Regulus 4, but they're outnumbered and outgunned. We can't free the diplomatic team from the embassy until the grounds are secure. Stopping the Klingons and deactivating those explosives are our top priorities. Only then can we get into the embassy.
Gotcha. Let's see. Apparently they were gonna put Quark in the game, but they couldn't get Armin Shimmerman back to reprise the role, so they decided not to. But that might change. I mean, they managed to get Walter Koenig in the most recent update to reprise his role as Chekhov. So maybe we will see Quark eventually. That, and they got everybody back from the main cast of Voyager except for Kate Mulgrew and Robbie Beltran. Orange. Sorry. I'm hoping they do something big for Next Gen next year, because Next Gen will be 30 years old next year, so it seems like it'll be another good time to do a big anniversary. Ah, boss. Eat whole icy. Try eat. Like I said, remember how I said sometimes you'll be randomly attacked? There you go. Cool dropped off agents to help the Klingons circumvent security. This explains how they were able to get to the planet and reach the conference. Keep an eye out for Nicole. There may be they may have left some agents to help the Klingons. No swag? Curses! I was hoping they'd at least drop something. Yeah, after this mission, I'll take a couple-minute break, set up the next game, and then we'll continue. Alright, I can heal the colonists. Forgot about that little submission in here. I think there's 7 of them altogether that you have to heal. See, I can find out relatively simply. Kuvamog. Find and heal all 7. Yep. But yeah, there's lots of the early missions have like little mini missions built into them like this, where it's like, oh, this isn't marked on the map or anything, but you can get an accolade for doing this. And when you get accolades, you can get bonuses to like your damage and stuff like that. Like nothing serious, but it's nothing to scoff at either. Every little advantage helps, doesn't it? Would be number 4. Wasn't even until I actually played this mission, replayed it, with my first temporal agent character that I came to understand that there was actually all these mini objectives I had missed in the older missions.
I'm ready to assist you. There is an ancient Klingon religious text that says the Kuvama, or Savior, will lead the Klingon Empire back to glory. There are a lot of prophecies about the Kuvama. Some say the Klingons will know him or her before the Kuvama knows the world, and that the Kuvama is stronger than sickness. Before I was born, Voyager encountered a group of Klingon pilgrims looking for the Kuvama. They were dying, and the doctor used my genetic material to create a cure for them. To some Klingons, that proves I'm the savior they seek. I'm ready to assist you. All I want is to be a good Starfleet officer. For every Klingon who wants to worship me, there's another who wants to kill me. It makes it hard to have anything resembling a normal life.
Must be tough.
I'm part Klingon, and I've never hidden that. But I'm part human, too. All I've ever wanted is for the species I come from to be in harmony. If I could find some way to reconcile the Klingons and the Federation, then I'll believe that the stories might be true. Until then, it's a case of mistaken identity.
Actually, you're mostly human, Moral. Since her mother was half human, half Klingon, and her father was completely human, that makes her only about a quarter Klingon. But, as they were talking about in the episodes dealing with her conception, the reason that she can have so little Klingon blood in her, proportionately speaking, and have such prominent ridges is because there will be ridges into a human and Klingon mixing up to 8 generations later, because Klingon DNA is just that robust.
Not exactly. My parents, Tom Paris and B'Elanna Torres, were on the USS Voyager, which was lost in the Delta Quadrant for 7 years. During its journey home, they married. I was born as Voyager reached Earth. I consider myself a child of the Alpha and the Delta Quadrants. I'm ready to assist you. Ambassador Koss of the Klingon Empire requested my presence at the peace conference. Starfleet thought that it would be a good idea, so I was temporarily reassigned to Regulus 4. I'm no diplomat. My day job is Chief of Security on the USS Kirk. Honestly, I'd rather be back on my ship. But if being here helps the Federation and the Klingons find a peaceful resolution to the problems, I'm happy to help. I'm ready to assist you. My tricorder shows no more spatial charges in the surrounding area. I'll stay here and help with the relief efforts. Just before you beamed down, the leader of the Klingons, Captain Kirk, entered the embassy and took the Federation diplomatic team hostage. He says he is waiting for a worthy adversary. Think you're up to the task? I'm ready to assist you.
Yeah, but basically because the older missions they had the probes in them, I had to start exploring the maps to try to find them. And I ended up running into a whole bunch of bonus objectives I didn't know about. So that was kind of cool. I'll be right back.
punishment for losing the episode is he had to go before a town hall meeting to actually try to get approval for an old folks isolation park. And you know how old people on city council are.
Yeah.
Are you all done?
No. I recommend you defeat all Klingon enemies. Like, well, that's kind of our job. Shoot Klingons in the face. Then it's shoot Romulans in the face. And then it's shoot Jem'Hadar and Cardassians in the face. And then Borg and Breen, and so on. Lots of people have been shot in the face. But then again, they kind of had to go that route because going full diplomacy, the game would have never sold. Initially, nobody would just go in a game where you solved everything diplomatically. Even though if you actually watched the series of Star Trek as much as I have, you realize most of the solutions to their problem came through fighting. There was actually a very few episodes that did not have some kind of combat in them. The only series where that's really the exception in terms of having less combat per episode and all that jazz is pretty much Next Generation. And Next Generation is kind of an enigma in the universe of Star Trek because it's very different from all of the other series.
Enemy target on sensor.
But in the end, like I said, a game where you did nothing but solve things peacefully would not work as an MMO. Might work as a single player game, but as an MMO you've got to have that combat in there. Because that's what's going to drive people in and keep them coming back. Phaser high density beam rifle. That might be better than one of the ones other than one of my party members are carrying. Definitely gonna be better than what she's carrying. Just gotta go check my oatmeals, be right back. back. We can finish this mission. But yeah, that was a distinctly better weapon than what she had. I like the high density beam weapons because they're always useful. Well, I could say, like, for a single-player game, I could totally see them having a very well-developed conversation slash diplomacy system. But for an MMO, it doesn't really work. An MMO pretty much is driven by combat. Like I said, for a single-player game, yeah, totally should have a diplomatic option. But I just don't think it would work for an MMO. Now, what I could see them doing with an MMO is having a few missions in there that you can solve diplomatically, which they do actually have in the game. If I was going to do a single-player Star Trek RPG, it would still have to have conflict in it, because some people are going to want to go in phasers blazing. But having a developed dialogue tree and options for non-lethal or diplomatic play, I could definitely see working.
Fight well, not as well as a Klingon. We have no equals in battle. I am Ambassador Kos of the Klingon Empire. I wish to meet with the Kuba Mach on Regulus. However, another of my Empire's ambassadors, Bovat, leads a noble house that is the enemy of my family. Bovat has used this opportunity to plot my death. He is behind the attack on your diplomats, and he will pay for his dishonorable treachery with blood. Bovat travels here from Kronos in his flagship. He will be here any second, and we will fight him together!
that group of ships. I'm sure I have help, but goddamn.
Target shield has failed.
It seems you have won this time, but there will be no peace between the Klingon Empire and your Federation. So who is the real victor here? Our fight is just beginning. I look forward to our next meeting.
Okay, we'll complete this mission.
Lieutenant Paris is reviled by some Klingons and practically worshipped by others. It's a difficult situation, but she does the best she can. I'm glad you were there to help.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Starfleet has received a communication from a servant of one of the Klingon Great Houses. She claims to have vital information about Klingon war plans, and she is willing to exchange that information for relocation to a planet out of the Empire's grasp. Your orders are to go to the trading station in orbit of Argelius 2 and make contact with an Orion named Marta. She'll be waiting for you there. That area is a hotbed of illicit activity. They are in Federation space, so Starfleet has authority over them, but they sometimes resist our efforts to enforce the rules.
Alright, we'll be logging out of this after we level up. I'll go get my oatmeal and then come back and start up Batman.